What is going on, everybody? It's the What to Do podcast. This is the first video. Um, it's a milestone. I'm truly excited. I'm also nervous because you're opening yourself up to even more criticism and also good criticism, but it's just that next step to move this podcast even further. Um, and thinking about who I was going to have for this podcast and someone that I've been missing to have on this podcast was my brother, man, Sean Hoggard, man. So what's going on, man? How you doing?
Pleasure to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I mean, people have probably heard your name when I talk about the podcast and throughout episodes, and to break down who I thought you were before I really met you, like it'd be in high school and I'm like, man, that's Ryan's brother. Like, dude, he's probably got all the chicks, like, because even like the underclassmen, they would be like, man, like Ryan, your brother, like he's hot, man. And he'd be like, shut up, you know, like um, I just always thought you were like this really, really cool, awesome dude. But I never like, I'd always be like shy and like, oh man, I don't know. Like, I gotta like bow my head before I come to him. But I
Oh,
know
jeez.
that wasn't you. Like,
Right.
but you were just this guy that as soon as I met you, like really met you. And I think it was, Ryan had some like sleepover for like all the football players and like you wrestled Nico in the backyard. And, um, wrestled Nico in the backyard, and then like we sat outside, had conversation. I'm like, dude, this guy's like, he's not what I thought. Like this person that I need to be like on a pedestal is just like someone that like is just one of the guys and really cool, you know. So um, then getting to know Ryan even more and coming over, and I'm like, dude, when is your brother gonna be here? And you're like, no, he's with April or something, or he's with the dog, and he's doing something, Um, so it was always just thinking about this podcast and kind of going, man, who do I want on the first video? And I was like, I think it would be just really awesome to have Ryan's brother on. And also my brother, just over time, just kind of became this person that has always supported me through this too. I remember first couple episodes, just kind of going through like what I'm going to talk about. And I just remember you giving me like really cool words of like, just keep going, man. Just keep doing your thing. Awesome conversation. Like you did a really good job. Just keep going. And I just, I can't say thank you enough. And I know you weren't like texting me every day, like, oh, dude, hey, good job. It was just like the weirdest little times of like when I felt like I was down and like, man, I don't know if I want to like, am I doing good in this? And am I like, and you just like quickly like reminded me, like, keep going, man. Like I enjoyed the episode, or, um, you would tell me like, oh, I'm sitting out back just smoking a cigar and listening to the episode or something. I'm like, man, like, okay, I got Sean listening still, like that's a goal. It's a goal. So uh, truly excited to have you on, man. And it's an honor for me to have you on, and wanted to give you that honor of being that first video. So
Appreciate that, brother. It's an honor to be
yeah.
here.
Um uh a father, man. Crazy to see that you're just this father now. I mean, the last time I saw you, what birthday party was it before you left to Texas? Was it yours?
Yeah,
Was
it
it
was
just one of
mine.
your kiddos? Um, how many kids right now? Two?
Three.
Three. Good night.
Three.
We're
Technically four if
flying,
we're,
dude.
because, yeah, technically four because I include Divine in there.
Okay.
Every now and again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, I, what's the what's the difference between like the first one and the second one? Like your first one, like take me through like how you felt when you first found out like, oh, I'm gonna be a father, and like what's the
Um,
trend?
I, I was shocked to say the least, I
Yeah.
think. Um, I mean, obviously, you know me, I like to have everything planned. Everything's got to be perfect. Everything's got to
Yeah.
be perfect. And uh, yeah, just kind of shocked. I mean, excited, obviously, but just like freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how long do I have to get all this stuff ready? And not knowing that that was kind of, a feasible thing, but just absolutely excited, once that kind of all settled down. I was broken at the gender reveal, though. I will have to say that. I was a broken
Broken.
man. Oh yeah, I never wanted girls. I never wanted girls.
You're like,
Never.
no, please.
No, no. And I thought the whole time it was going to be a boy.
Isn't
The
it
whole time.
weird? Isn't it weird? Like you probably sat there at night and you're like, dude, it's gonna be a boy. Like I need a boy. Look, what? Like, do you feel like girls have changed? Like changed you?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always
Like I
hear that.
couldn't,
Like
I,
I always
I
hear
couldn't
that. Like
imagine life
someone's
without her.
yeah. People always say like, man, like I don't feel like I would do good with girls, and then they're like a girl dad, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, even their firstborn, a girl, like they're like, man, that just changed my perspective on being a man and like how
Yeah.
to treat women too, like all of that, you know.
Yeah.
So now the second, did you feel like you were this one were you prepared for this one or no?
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, we had tried after Mackenzie for a while, and we're having a little bit of a tough time with that.
Yeah.
So we were obviously prepping for it and trying and planning, and it kind of came out of nowhere. So, obviously we were stoked, but didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl. And I mean, I'll never
You're
forget.
still hoping for the boy. You're like
I'll never forget it. We were sitting in a restaurant, and it was some email or something that came in that was going to tell us what the gender was. And so we're sitting down, and she gets the email, and she's like, "Should I open it?" And we're like, "Yeah." So we opened it, and it was like this automated like thing, and it was like we opened it expecting it to be like, "Oh, it's a boy, it's a girl," and it was like, "We have your results." And I was like, okay. And then it says, go to the next slide. So we went to the next slide, and it was the same sort of automated thing. We're like, is this ever going to end? And then we opened it up, and it ended up being a boy. And I was bawling in this restaurant. I was bawling because we
yeah,
just, we figured it was going to be a girl, She
yeah.
had already had Divine, and then we had Mackenzie, and her brother Marshall was like, oh, April only makes girls. And so,
Well, that
yeah,
must bug a little bit. Like,
it,
oh, he
it,
only makes girls. Like,
yeah,
shut up.
yeah, yeah. It was bugging a little bit, but no, it was wild. It was
Yeah.
wild.
Um, and interested to see too, like, you know, the big conversation that I've always just wanted to have with you on the podcast was just with Ryan. You know,
Mm.
Ryan passing away and you being a father, do you look at it different now? Do you look at is anything changed from that time? And what are some of the things that like have changed if it has? You know how you feel.
About his passing?
Yeah, like is there anything that like you being a father that has changed the way that you looked at the passing or how you look at it now? You know,
But yeah, I think a couple of, if I'm being honest, I'd say it's a couple of things.
yeah.
Um,
Because it's
I think,
because you're coming like at that time, like this is the way that I always think of it. Like I'm only coming at it from a friend's perspective. Like
yeah.
I felt as a friend at that time, this is how I felt. And you being a brother at that time, it was like, this is how I felt as a brother. Like being a father, like, I guess that's just where I leave it to you, you know, like, I guess that's
So,
the perspective.
so when it happened, obviously it was, me, my mom, and dad were obviously in the house days after kind of going through everything. But, and so it was this really weird kind of dynamic where, you know, everyone was kind of checking on the other person based on what they thought their perspective was. So, my parents are obviously looking out for me. Oh, you lost your brother. Whereas I'm looking at it, like you guys lost your son, and for lack of a better word, I'm putting that on a pedestal much higher than me, not
Hmm.
really knowing what that feels like. So I would say from that to actually being a father, I mean, I still, at that moment, I couldn't imagine what that would feel like for them. And I'd say even after being a father, I can only imagine what that would feel like. Um, and I obviously wouldn't want to go through that personally, but
Yeah, definitely. And don't wish anything upon that of,
yeah,
and it was already, I know, already a very hard transition for, I remember when he first told us he had schizophrenia, and I know he told us, me and the friend group a little bit later, because we'd go to the gym and all of a sudden he was not at the gym anymore. And it was like, man, what's going on? Like, dude, he loves going and playing basketball with us. Like, he's always down. Like, your brother, he was always down. You're like, you want to go to the liquor store? Down.
yep,
Like, he was just
yep,
down. So him not being down, it was like, man, what is going on? So already that transition of your parents having to deal with that and the attitude that they held, and man, it just going back to that day. Um, I just got back from a river trip. Um, Freshly just talked to him when I was at the river. Um, really cool conversation of, since he wanted to be a rapper and stuff like that. And we had his Ryu Duncan logo, and I was like sketching things out and stuff like that. And I emailed him a whole bunch of them. And then he was like, dude, I like that one a lot. And yeah, I was like, hey, also I want to let you know, like I bought podcast studio stuff. And he's like, man, sick. So I was like, all right, dude, like I'll talk to you later, and coming back from that river trip, it just wasn't, I just did not expect that. Woke up that morning, I got tons of missed calls, texts from Zach and Kellen, and basically saying like, just give us a call when you can. And um, end up calling Kellen, and Kellen tells me everything, and I'm shocked. But I think what was the point for me where I was like, man, like I gotta really like focus up is when I talked to you, um, and talking to you on the phone and how strong you sounded, and like definitely hurt, hurt for sure. Like this feeling of like pain. You're also this person too that like I said, you're this guy that I used to walk around in high school and look at and is like this stoic character of like, oh, that guy's the guy. And to hear you on the phone, just like almost kind of keeping that, not a character, but that feeling still going of like, we're going to get through this. And I remember I wasn't able to talk to your mom until later that day because, it was just what a day. But that was kind of my feeling during that day. Soon as I got done talking to you, I had this weird peace. I was sitting outside. I sat outside for about an hour in my grandpa's grass. Like my grandpa came out and he's like, dude, are you okay? And I was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm especially because I just expressed to you guys, I want to say maybe like a couple months before, like I wasn't doing well. I wasn't coming
yeah,
over as much. Um, Me and Ryan, like almost, you guys were pissed. You guys are like, dude, when you're in problems and you got to come talk to us.
yeah.
Um, and I think that was such the eye opener, sitting there talking to you on the phone and you expressing how you felt, and raw emotion, mad, sad, but also at the end of the phone call, like I felt closer. I felt like, man, like things things are going to get better, even just talking to you on the phone. But kind of just running through like how you felt during that day, and how did you feel? What were some of the emotions and some of the things?
I mean, I was playing video games with my buddy Matt and Cree, and I got my headset on and everything, and my not paying attention to my phone or anything, and I've got missed calls from Kels, I got texts from Kels, missed calls from Zach, texts from Zach, and then my mom called, and I'm in the middle of a game, and so I'm just I'll call her back. She calls again. So we've got this rule in the house that if you need to get a hold of somebody, you call back 3 times in a row. And so this was the third time my mom was calling me, and I remember picking up the phone, and I told the guys, I was like, hey, hang on a second, I gotta take this call. And I mean, I can't even put into words. It seemed like she said words, but there was so much in those words. Like, there was worry, there was strength, there was heartbrokenness. I mean, she literally just came out and said, Sean, Ryan shot himself. You need to come home. And
Yeah.
I just remember
Where were you living at that time? Where were
we
you in
were in
Lakeside?
we were in Ramona,
Ramona. That's what it was.
and I just remember. I mean, I don't even remember this, but so my headset was still on, and I remember just well, I was told by them that it was like an animalistic scream,
Yeah.
and just kind of got off the game. And I remember April was in the shower, and Divine was in her room, and I just walked out of our bedroom door and literally just like collapsed pretty much. And I obviously wasn't able, I was in no shape to probably drive down there.
Yeah.
So April called her brother, and he came over and picked us up, and we drove down there. And I don't even remember the drive. Like, it was just blank. It didn't seem real. And I remember getting to the house and just opening the door and walking across the street and walking in the house, and I just saw everybody kind of sitting down there, and the police were there, and in that moment it like felt real. And they wouldn't let me go upstairs,
Yeah. Uh,
which
did that
t-
take you off?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I
um
bet.
yeah, I was
Was it the police that weren't, or it was your
yeah, it
parents?
was no, it was the police. They wouldn't let me
Okay.
go up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And that probably could have gone real bad real quick. I don't really know why it didn't, to be honest with you. um I just remember kind of, the front door had closed, and they told me I couldn't go up there, and I remember just kind of like putting my head into the front door, and I just was stuck there. And I've told a couple people this, but um in that moment I felt like I could stick my hands into the ground and tear the earth in half. Like, that's kind of the best way I can put how I felt in that moment. Like, I just wanted to break everything.
Yeah.
Um, but then I kind of saw my mom. Um, m- my dad is my dad. You know, he's 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 gonna make sure everybody is okay. Especially if that means he's gonna put everything that he's got aside to kind of check on everybody and make sure everything's okay. And my mom she just looked numb, if that makes sense. So it was just kind of like, all right, well, I gotta kind of be there for them, and we just kind of started putting one foot in front of the other after that moment. But it was the weirdest feeling of just rage and sorrow, um, confusion. It was a lot. It was a
Yeah.
lot.
It definitely, for me, it was like a dream state.
Mm.
It, it did not become real for me until, um, I went up to my dad's, property, and I was just looking at videos and stuff like that of him. And that's when it became real of like, I'm never going to be able to see him again on this earth. And I just remember sitting down with my dad and just saying, like, sitting outside in like this beautiful area. I'm like, nothing seems beautiful right now. Like, even though I'm in this beautiful area, like, I just want, and I think the hard part was when death does happen around me. Uh, I already experienced at that time two deaths with my grandma and my mom. I take myself, I separate myself from everything. I don't get close to people. I stray away, um, which is horrible, you know.
But understandable at the same time, though. You know,
Yeah.
we all process stuff like that differently.
And, some people would say, man, that's freaking crazy, Cody. But Ryan's death was one of the hardest deaths I ever had to feel. Um, because I had to mourn my mom 10 years. My grandma, it happened so sudden, but she was older and, things happen. And I wish he was here longer, but it's like, man, I just saw so much life in him. And we had plans and you had plans with him. Everybody had these plans with him. And it was such a, that's why that when you said that descriptive, like you could have put your hands in the ground and ripped the earth, like I almost wanted to kind of feel that kind of, I wanted to get in his face and yell at him. Like that's
Yeah.
how I felt.
Yeah,
Like I
no,
just wanted to
me
take him
too.
out into the backyard there and just yell at him. That's why that Joiner song, every now and then, like I listen to it, I think of you, um, because it's so hard hitting and
Yeah.
like you really feel. It's like Ryan used to say it. It was like he had a demon in him. So I can't imagine what he was going on in through his head, but I'm that other side of the song that's like, yeah, I don't really care what you had in your head, man, but like, what about us,
Yeah.
but you know, to bring this back to, more positive things. And I think if you did go upstairs, maybe that might have shaped you as a different person too, you know, because man, sometimes when people see things like that, um, it changes your perspective on what you viewed that person as, or um, that that moment. Sure, you wanted to get up those stairs, but I wonder if it was God telling you, like, we don't need you to go upstairs. You need to stay right here. Um, and yeah, it's gonna hurt to stay right here because you want to see him.
Yeah.
You want to hold him. You want to do what you wanted to do at that moment. Um, but I don't know how you feel about that, but
Wrestled with it for a little bit, and then talking to my mom, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like that's so she was the first one that was up there, and we had his viewing or whatever it was. I mean, this was during COVID. You know what I mean? We were like limited to the amount of people we could have inside of a space, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, you know, that was the last time I saw him, was kind of at the viewing. And my mom had said that the last image that she remembers of him is in his room. So I think, that kind of nailed it on that one.
yeah, when my grandma passed away, I was very happy to be with her when she passed
Hmm.
away. Um, there's probably only one more person I'll do that for, and that's my dad.
Yeah.
Um, that was rough. It stayed with me. I talked to my sister about it. My sister's like, I would do it 100 times again, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it again. To see someone leave their body and not be there anymore, it was like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like
Yeah.
the feeling of it. And the I think grieving too, like I think you and me have kind of discussed about grieving too. Like we all dealt with it in a different way. And I think it's how I've been able to get through it and think about it in a positive way was the two conversations that I had with you and your mom. Um, Anytime I'd feel down or something, I would like think about on my way to my dad's house, I'm talking to your mom, and your mom's like, did you, get something to eat tonight? Like, are you okay? And I'm just like, why are we talking about me? Like, but that was your mom. Like, that's your
Yeah.
mom. she's this person that um just so strong, so kind and funny, and this person that you can have honest conversation. She's not gonna. There's no sugarcoating with your mom. Like that, it's gonna be. You're gonna get what you get. It's not. Well, Cody, I think this is what you should do. It was like, no, this is what I think you should do, and I think you're kind of stupid if you don't. Like
Yeah.
she just give it to you straight. And if you didn't know her, you'd be like, man, she's very blunt. But it's like, yeah, but she's telling you how it is. Like nobody
Yeah.
else is gonna tell you how it is.
No.
Um, but listening to you two sometimes and having those conversations just made me think like if they can be okay, I'm gonna be okay, and I'm just gonna keep his legacy going as much as I can in any way I can. And getting to the positive side, what was like one of your favorite things about your brother, like something that you loved about your brother?
It was a love. I'd say this is probably like a love hate thing. He was probably the only person in the world that could call me out and I wouldn't get upset about it. Cause I knew he was right, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I mean, uh, and he just had a way about him of kind of we knew each other so well. And, you know, very respectful about it and everything. We could be out doing something or whatever, and he'll pull me to the side or wait till after and be like, "Look, dude, come on." And I'll be like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right."
Yeah.
um, well, I mean, he was just like the most genuine person I've ever had the privilege to be around in my life, and just always positive and always putting other people before himself, like always. Um,
One of the big things that I always think about him is, sometimes you hear the phrase like you got to put 110% into your friends and your these things. I always tell a person like I've never had a friend give 110% like him.
yeah,
It If I were to say, dude, I am down and out right now, can I just chill in your backyard with you and just talk and laugh and joke, and I need this Ryan moment, and
yeah,
he's like, uh, why aren't you over here already?
yep,
I'll come pick you up. I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah,
Um, he just had this. I know it's funny to say people use this a lot now, like aura. He
yeah,
really did. Like he
yeah,
had this thing about him that, and you get it because you knew him. And some
yeah,
people that I try to describe him to other people, and people are like, well, maybe someday you'll meet another, person that's like that. I don't think I will.
yeah,
Um, I think one thing that he was so good at, and I felt like me and him were both really good at too, is we would freshly meet someone new, and Ryan would already be like having the most deepest conversation with them, and them telling like their secrets in their life in like in a matter of 20 minutes of
yep,
sitting there. And we used to call it like the Ryan and Cody effect, because he would bring, say his friend around and be like, hey, like, you know, I want you to meet my friend Cody. And we would hang out, and he'd be like, that person would be like saying the same thing. He's like, hey, you're just learning from me, you're the Padawan. You
mm-hmm.
um, just gotta open them people up. I feel like that's what he was really good at. He was making people feel very comfortable around him and making people feel like he deeply listened to you. It wasn't this like weird, I can't wait to say what I want to say.
Yeah,
He would sit there and really listen to you. And that's hard. That's hard to
mm-hmm.
tell someone like, hey, really listen to this person. Listen to what they're saying without you trying to think of what you're going to say next.
It was very
Um,
natural. It was very natural for him.
yeah,
He's
very
uh,
natural.
he's always been like that. It's almost like he walks. Well, I mean, he walks in a room and he lights it up first, but then he's almost he almost had this uncanny ability to kind of seek people out to talk to that maybe needed to talk to somebody.
Yeah, another big one too that um I would think of every now and then, and I'm like, man, someone would come up to me and be like, man, I'm going through it right now. Oh, and they're so hard to be around. You'd be like, man, this is all this person does is complain. They're just horrible. Ryan was going through, I can't imagine what he was going through in his head and the things, but I remember he went to my birthday. And I usually would have people go to, Felipe's in Chula, and he came to one. It's a funny story, dude. I'll tell that one right after. We do Felipe's thing, and then we went to like a hookah lounge after. Hookah lounge.
Mm-hmm.
We go to a hookah lounge, and my friend Kathy was like, Ryan seems just so happy. And man, he's just like, he's the most giddiest dude. And he comes back from the bathroom, and she ends up asking him questions. And then Ryan went his way, and then we get in the car, and then she was like, I can't believe, like, he said that he has schizophrenia. Like, he does not look like a person that would have schizophrenia. Like, he was so happy, so like, you wouldn't even think he ever dealt with that, or the horrors that he had to think about in his head. And she was like, I, I, I don't know. I can't believe it. That my friend would be in shock. Like, it's crazy. And I feel like that's what he did. He was just so good at hiding it, but also expressing it to people and telling people that he trusted,
Yeah.
um, that this is what I go through. And this is something, because I remember the first night he told me when I stayed over his house, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was scared. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm scared, bro. What you, because it was
Yeah.
like the next night or something. I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, what you just told me right now, what you hear and what you think about, that scared me, bro.
Yeah.
I was up all night. And he's like, yeah, But the more that I hung out with him, the more that I was just like, yeah, it I didn't even think about it anymore. It wasn't even scary. It wasn't even like, man, I don't think he would do that, or no. It would just be like, yeah, he has schizophrenia, and people go like, what? Yeah, no, he's just Ryan to me. But yeah, this absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing, is that I just want people to know who he was and really feel what we felt. We
Yeah.
felt this, like, I call it a gift from God. Um,
Amen.
no, I really do. I say it time and time again, like, he taught me in life and in death. He just an amazing dude. And I just want to keep that legacy going as much as possible. And he's the reason why I do this. I mean, he's one of the biggest reasons why I want to do a podcast. And I continue to do it. So sorry for getting emotional.
And you're doing a great job, and he'd be proud of you, and he is proud of you.
I can't imagine him being on here. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, you can.
It'd be
You
crazy.
definitely can imagine him being on here.
I guess I try not to, because we did the conversations that we had in the backyard. Sometimes you're like, what are these guys talking about?
It was funny. I remember texting you when you had Miles on the podcast for the
Yeah.
first time, and I text you, and I was just like, man, I cannot imagine Ryan being on here when you guys got on the topic of basketball. I was like, oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
oh man,
Yeah. It truly blessed to known him, and to keep him going is something that I just want to keep going, as far as I
yeah,
can, and hopefully people the biggest thing I can tell people, that if you're watching, like, it's just, do not take advantage of those friends that are truly the best. Hold them tight, and make sure you let that person know, like, thank you for your effort, thank you for trying so hard, because he was that person that like you didn't even need to tell him like thank you. He was just he'd still do it, but I know some people need their thank yous. Some people need those. um I just got so used to not having Ryan would just be like, yeah, that's just who I am. I give 110. So
Yeah.
um
He didn't know anything different.
yeah, for sure. And then I get to play fantasy football with you guys and lose every year. I'm getting
Hey,
worse, I feel like, dude.
you got a championship. You're doing all right. You're doing
Yeah,
all right.
but it's a Mickey championship. I won during COVID.
That's not a Mickey championship.
It's a Mickey.
No, it's not. We're not
I
talking
gotta
to
get
be. We're
another
not.
one.
You do
I
got to get
gotta get
another one.
another one.
You do. We got to stop my mom from getting another one. That's what we really got to do.
That one, I don't know why it bugged me a little bit, because sometimes when she drafts, I'm in the same line of thinking. When you draft, I'm like, dang it, why did Sean just pick that guy? I wanted that guy.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes your mom would pick someone. I'm like, yes, good
Yeah.
pick. More picks for me.
Yeah.
April too. April's one too. That I'm like, man,
She
she's.
she bugs me. She bugs me so much. So much she bugs me. And it
I can
started
see
the
her getting chipper with you too. Like she probably throws in little digs or whatever.
well, she's got the ultimate dig. This year we played,
Yeah,
we were short of play. So Rooks, the dog, had a team. Well, who's managing Rooks's team? It's me. So so my team makes it to the playoffs, and Rooks's team makes it to the playoffs. So I got two shots. So
yeah,
I'd lose to her in the first round, and then I get to play against her again with Rooks in the final, and she beats me there. So she wins the first championship,
yeah.
beating me twice. So she's like, "Oh, I've got this. I don't need your help." But I'm in a
Yeah.
couple other leagues, and so she'll ask for like a picture of like the draft board from then. If I'm ever it hasn't been as much now, but if I'm ever talking fantasy football pre-draft for like another league with people, she's literally got a notepad with a piece of paper, and she's just writing down names. She doesn't know what position they play. She doesn't know what team
Oh,
they're on, and she gets to draft, and she's like, "Oh, you said this guy's name here. Yeah, yeah, I think I'll take him here."
yeah.
Never wants to trade, never wants to pick anybody up off the waiver, and I'm just like, whatever,
When
whatever.
me, I'm like sitting there like every time I'm like, okay, this dude's on the waiver wire. I'm gonna pick him up, and then all of a sudden I look and I see like you got him. I'm like, oh, gosh darn it, dude. He's a step ahead. Like an
You
anime,
gotta
it's
be,
just like he's
you
always
got
a step ahead.
you gotta be quick.
But I remembered I was so it was so funny that you guys in the chat, even I think it was Kellen said it, like,
Hmm.
oh, no Kelsey, huh?
Yeah.
Not the year for Kelsey.
Oh, she's not happy about that either because she took Bowers, which I thought I
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna get because I thought I was gonna get Bowers, so she takes him,
and he's
and then
injured now, right?
and he's injured right now, so she was upset about that. And then her backup tight end Ingram was injured as well. He might play, but he's injured too. And then she was pissed because Kelsey ran into Xavier Worthy. She's got Xavier Worthy, and so she's like, okay, so Kelsey's clearly mad at me for not drafting him this year. He's gonna run into my wide receiver and take him out.
Oh, I might have to give her a little ring. I have Kraft as my backup. She
Might
probably
work
won't
out.
trade, but I'll give her a
She
holler.
might. She might. I'll put some notes in her ear or
Yeah, just
something.
say, hey, and he's a good tight end. I mean, I think he got
He
like
is.
15 or 16 points.
Yeah, he's coming off a good game.
He's loves to go to right now. But are you still a Carolina fan?
Till I die.
It's rough.
Yeah.
That's some rough years here, bro. You got some tough times. How you feeling about them right now?
Sadly
Well,
optimistic.
first, here we go.
Sadly,
How do you feel about Bryce Hall? Or not Bryce Hall.
Bryce
I
Young.
don't even know his name.
Bryce, thanks. Appreciate that. I mean, it sucks because I feel like this year is starting just kind of like last year started. He's a good quarterback. I think he's really short.
Yeah.
I think that that first year really kind of put some demons in him, and it's hard to kind of get out of that. but I also feel like he didn't really have too many weapons, and I feel like they're trying to build around him now. But you
Yeah.
know, I think this year is a big year for him. I feel like if it doesn't go at least some form of well for him this year, I think they're probably gonna wrap it up, especially if Canales gets fired, which I don't think should happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, if they bring somebody else in and they've got a top pick, they're gonna start it over. I think.
Yeah, I just think they've been dealing with like you look at their team from top to bottom and you go, I couldn't tell you a wide receiver there. Man, usually I'm looking up O line guys. I don't even know any of their offensive linemen. It just, I just, they got rid of Burns, right? Yeah. So I don't know. They felt
Yeah.
like it felt like they're in the middle of like, do we rebuild or do we not? Um, and I feel
Yeah.
like they've been in that for too long.
Yeah. It felt like that when they got rid of McCaffrey, and that one
Yeah,
obviously
for
was
sure.
tough for me. But it seemed like they were kind of half in, half out on the rebuild. Where I'm kind of like, you literally got rid of Christian McCaffrey. Like this needs to be a full rebuild if this is what we're doing here. And then you draft Bryce as a part of your build, and that doesn't seem to be going as well as you'd hope. But then you get rid of Burns, so it's like, what are we really kind of doing here?
Yeah, where's the chess pieces lying?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and it doesn't feel like they have any king. They don't have a queen. Like it's just kind of like, oh, we're gonna keep, and then they're gonna blame it on coach and
yeah,
Bryce. But I feel like
yeah.
Bryce really hasn't had much to work with. So
No, he hasn't. I don't think he has, but I think his downfall is like the end of last year, showing out and actually playing well and having some good games. It's like, okay, well, this is possible and it's feasible. So it's like you should, from game one of the season this year, you should be doing that. And I don't know. I mean, I agree with that somewhat. But you know, you got to give him a shot, but he's also got to perform as well.
yeah, when do you give up?
Yeah.
Is I think the hardest question, and I think it comes down to when the GM, when the coach are not aligning in thoughts anymore. Um, then you got to think a new coach comes in and he's like, "This is not my quarterback. I want another guy."
Yeah.
Just all depends, but I feel like he has the talent. It's just if you look at someone like Sean McVay, like he's the quarterback whisperer. Like
Yeah.
he's everywhere he's gone. Like quarterbacks have thrived. Um, I mean, what he did with Goff, he really helped Goff too. And I mean, Matthews was already great, but I think it kind of fits what system, you know,
Yeah.
and he's a guy that is kind of, I'm not saying he's a Jalen Hurts, but
Mm.
he's someone that needs to fit a system. Because if
A
Jalen
hundred.
Hurts
Yeah.
just went to some random team, I don't know if he would be who he was.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree. I agree with that too. Um, I think Jalen is also much more outwardly confident than Bryce is. That could be because of the opportunities that he's gotten or the team that he's on. But, you know, I mean, you watch Bryce in interviews, and I'm not, I'm not the most comfortable person speaking in public either, But I mean, your quarterback of your franchise, every interview, he's just kind of sitting there getting asked questions and rubbing his arm and stuff,
he's struggling.
he looks like he's kind of struggling, but I mean, I'm really hoping he could turn it around.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
see though.
it it's going to be interesting. Who's your we can kind of end off with this, but or actually, do you watch any UFC anymore, or are you kind of out of it?
Yeah, as much as I can.
Yeah,
Um, we used to do it with a bunch of friends. We'd always go over and meet up and watch the fights. It's tougher to do now with the three kids because they like to wrestle as it is.
yeah,
So I could only imagine somebody
This is yeah.
throwing down elbows from top position in the ground and pound, what
Yeah,
how that
yeah.
would reflect in the house. But uh,
Not good.
yeah, but I mean, I'll catch a fight every now and again when I can.
Yeah, I know that was like one of the really cool things. Going over your guys' house and watching fights
Yeah.
was always really fun. One of the I think uh we can end off on this, but I think it was your friend Beto, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen someone with your dog, like how your dog was, like and people if you want to describe to people Rooks, like you got Rooks cuz it was it I Am Legend?
Yes. I mean, I'd always wanted a German Shepherd my whole life, but
Yeah.
I am Legend definitely was you know,
Dude,
zombie apocalypse, me and my dog walking down, taking everybody out.
and like Rooks was like so well behaved when you
Mm-hmm.
were around. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
were there, and definitely like when you get loud with him, he knew like the order of command, or the order, like, okay, I can't mess with April, but I can push it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not the alpha.
Yeah.
And I remember
He's still the same.
um I remember with Beto, you guys were like doing beer pong or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, and we're just sitting there getting ready to watch like a fight night. And he celebrated like he beat you guys or something like that, or scored. And Rooks took it as like he's gonna hurt my father. Like he
Yeah.
just tail lined it over there, like almost bit him. And
He
you
got
I've never
he nipped him on the inside of his thigh right there.
I remember laughing so hard. I was like, dude, what the heck? Like he came out of nowhere. Like he was playing catch with someone over in the yard. All
Yeah.
of a sudden he just saw from across the thing, like, I'm gonna get that guy right now.
Yep.
And dude, how like your guys' relationship was, because I remember you grabbed him right away and like put him to the ground and like put your face right up to his face, and you were just like, who the heck do you think you are? Like I was like, oh shoot. I've ne- and Rooks was like teeth, everything, like still so mad, frustrated, and like I've never seen that. So I was like, dude, that's dope. Like someone, like I've always seen people like kick their dog or like get out of here, you dumb dog or something. But
Yeah.
like you grab that dog and you're just like, get over here, and like you put him down and like had him in like a little takedown, and you're like on
Hmm.
top, and you're like, think you are like you're just giving him
Yeah.
the business, and then all of a sudden he runs off, and then you're sitting there like talking to someone, he comes up and he was just like, you're like, you're right, buddy, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. April used to give me crap when he was a puppy. I mean, he was, a cute little ball of fluff, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and he would do stuff he wasn't supposed to be doing. And he started like kind of biting and nipping when he was getting like a little bit bigger. And so I used to bite him back.
Yeah, the
And
primal, dude. I love it, dude.
and
I
and
love it.
she's like, why are you doing that? Because he'd yelp, because I'd bite him. And
Yeah.
she's like, why are you doing that? He's just a puppy. I was like, listen, I know he's cute now, but like this is not easy for me to do. I love him too, but I promise you a year of this is going to be much easier than 10 years from now trying to do this for 10 more years. And it is. I mean, like
It was for sure.
in his world, his hierarchy is me and then him. That's his world.
But every
Everybody
now and
else,
then you got to remind him, like,
yeah,
yo, that's not how it is, brother.
yeah,
Like, sorry. And
yep,
and when he gets that way, and you grab him, he knows like, oh, my alpha is
yeah,
telling me don't do that. Um, I gotta fall in line, and then it's like the kids, this, that. All right, dang, I'm pretty far down the line, but
yeah. Yeah,
but I'll
I just really have to look at him now. Nowadays, I
yeah.
just got to look at him and he knows.
definitely being older too. I mean,
Yeah,
he's probably like, yeah, it's not worth my time, you know?
yeah. The kids are giving him a run for his money. It's wild.
Yeah, I bet.
He just wants to sit down and chill out. They
How
won't
old
let
is he?
him.
How old is he?
He's 10.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably just like, please, guys,
Yeah.
I'm I'm tired. I'm tired, and they're probably
That's
like, no,
exactly how
get
it
up,
is. Yep.
get up.
Maximus is the worst. Because
Yeah,
Mackenzie's she's 4 now. Maximus is almost 2, and he just all he wants to do is just like throw a leg over him and ride him.
yeah,
That's all he wants to do. So he's just always, Rooks will walk clear across the house, lay down. Max will follow him,
yeah,
go over there. He'll get up, and it's just this little dance. And Maximus thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And Rooks is just like, Dad, can you please help me here,
yeah.
please?
Please, I, I don't want to hurt him, and I can't hurt him right now because I'm
Yeah.
tired, man.
Yep.
Getting old.
No, but he's good. He's good with them.
That's good, man. Well, thank you, man, for coming on, and I know it's a hard episode. You know, some of the things we talked about, but I think it's something that some people out there might be going through some of the same things. Some people might have not known how to dealt with some of the stuff we talked about, and I appreciate you coming on. And I'm definitely going to be getting you on to talk some football because Miles loves talking some football. So we'll get you
Yeah.
two together, and we'll have a good time, man.
Yeah, we'll have to adjust the audio on that episode, I'm sure.
Miles, dude, is insane, bro. He is. I have to constantly. I'm sitting there with his audio, and that was before like video and stuff,
Yeah.
where I'm able to help with his audio a little bit.
Hmm.
But nah, he's loud, man. Hey, man, he just gets loud.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and yeah, everybody, uh, like and subscribe. It goes a long way, and this will be our first episode on YouTube. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I got some video editing to do. But thank you again for coming on, man. I truly appreciate it and means the world to me. It's a milestone, like I said, and I just wanted you to be part of it. So thank you.
Appreciate it. It's an honor. I don't say that lightly.
All right, man. Well, thank you everybody, and peace out.